This is a banner and memorial of Donald Gillis, who was my partner for 7 years. Passed away back in 1994.
We're walking for Michael Arnold, my brother, and it was 20 years ago, so we're celebrating 20 years of honoring him.
I'm walking for my brother, Randy Macias, who died from AIDS in 1989.
Again, I'm carrying this banner because our son died in January of AIDS. So we're here to walk for him. Sorry. Yep. My partner and I adopted him when he was 16, and he would have been 41 in February, but didn't quite make it.
Well, I love AIDS Walk because it's one day a year where we all really come together, and we need more days a year like that.
I am here because I made a vow to my fiance that if it's the last thing I do on this earth, this disease will cease to exist. A few years ago, my best friend lost his battle to it, unfortunately, and then a year ago, February, my fiance lost his battle. So I have a real passion to find a cure for this disease.
Don't give up. We do this once a year, but it's something that we need to be diligent with 365 days a year, because if we ever forget about it, we'll all continue to become victims in this community.
We need to continue to do exactly what's being done, and that's people from all areas of the city, all walks of life, all beliefs, all religions getting together here to support people in this issue, support this cause, and to make sure that everybody is treated as one. This is a good example of Kansas City acting as one city, not north and south or east and west, just one city. This is what we need to be about every day.
She's known as Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity along with her husband Charles Fillmore. But she was born Mary Carolyn Page on August 6, 1845, the seventh of 9 children. As a child, she adopted the name Myrtle and would later reject the teachings of her strict religious parents. Ever since she was a little girl, Myrtle had been sick. At a young age, she contracted tuberculosis. For many years, she believed she was incurably weak and sickly.
I had all the ills of mind and body that I could bear. Medicine and doctors ceased to give me relief, and I was in despair.
That was until Myrtle discovered new spiritual ideas and principles we now call Unity. The year was 1886, and Myrtle was in her early 40s. She and her husband Charles attended a lecture by metaphysician Dr. E.B. Weeks of Chicago. Myrtle left the talk with a stronger faith and an understanding of her innate divine potential for healing through affirmative prayer.
It flashed upon me that I might talk to the life in every part of my body and have it do just what I wanted. I began to teach my body and got marvelous results.
Instead of seeing her body as weak, inefficient, and diseased, she began speaking words of strength and power to every part of her body: her liver, stomach, abdomen, limbs, eyes, and heart.
I didn't get discouraged at their being slow to wake up, but kept right on, both silently and aloud, declaring words of truth until they did respond. And neither did I forget to tell them that they were free, unlimited spirit. I told them they were the centers of life and energy, omnipresent.
Myrtle began regularly affirming,
I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness.
By the summer of 1921, the tents and shanties were being replaced with the first permanent buildings. They were constructed by Unity workers and include this clubhouse for employees to entertain their families and friends. The master planner of Unity Village was Rickard Fillmore, the middle son of Charles and Myrtle. After studying at the Chicago Art Institute, Rickard traveled to Europe and fell in love with the cottages of the English countryside. Returning home, he designed these early buildings with hand-cut wooden shingles to resemble the thatched roofs he saw in England. The cottage that Rickert designed for himself has massive wood beams in the great room. At one end is a large fireplace of native limestone. The limestone, used for many buildings and rock walls on the property, came from large quarries on the grounds. Now, over the years, the Fillmores added to the original 58 acres, and the property became known as Unity Farms. For nearly 50 years, Unity Farms was famous for its orchards, cider, and other products like eggs and milk. At the height of its operations, Unity Farms had 5,000 apple trees, producing 16 varieties of fruit. Workers produced 14,000 gallons of cider each fall. The big barn on Colburn Road could store 7,000 bushels of apples over the winter. In the barn kitchen, workers made jams and jellies, apple butter and syrup. Besides apples, the orchard had 400 other fruit trees, including peaches, cherries, plums, and persimmons. 100 beehives helped pollinate the trees. There were also blackberries and 12 acres of grapevines. Unity Produce is making a comeback. The big barn on Colburn Road is once again selling fresh fruits and vegetables, thanks to the Gardens at Unity Village, a nonprofit group. These days, the emphasis is on organic farming. Volunteers are planting heritage fruit trees in the original orchards and installing large garden beds. The Fillmores' vision for the property grew as their outreach expanded. In the 1920s, construction started on the central courtyard. The architectural style was Mediterranean. Rickert's travels to Italy inspired his red tile roofs, stucco walls, arches, courtyards, breezeways, and fountains.
We have two houses. We are partnering with Bank of the West. We're doing a lot of carpentry work, a lot of painting, putting up handrails, and just other odd jobs that we can take care of.
Bank of the West looks forward, our employees look forward every year to partnering up with Unity Village and working at Christmas in October for families who need some help, elderly, disabled folks who need some help fixing up their house so they can stay in it.
Oh, this is going to be beautiful. The central point of the book Messengers is the necessity to focus upon love, mercy, and compassion, because our thoughts, human thoughts, have creative power. Humans have been given not only free will, but the power of creation itself, and that occurs through our thoughts.
I was inspired to write Wellness on a Shoestring because in coaching clients over the last 18 years in private practice and in my own life the last 30 years being around wellness, what I've learned is it's really the basics that help you live well. So the best way to get started is the easiest thing to do. I always say you want to get one tool on your belt.
I think that the real essence of Wellness on a Shoestring, and I think what Michelle has so concisely put in these 7 steps, it would be to take one of those 7 and focus on that one thing. So I think for wellness, it is a journey and it is a process. When you can work on your physical well-being and work on that as a platform, you can do such a much better job at everything else.
I've got to say my body just embraced the change.
Spirit Path at Unity Village is hosting a variety of renowned inspirational presenters in 2009. Upcoming speakers include Marianne Williamson, Judy Zarafa, Dr. Judith Orloff, Byron Katie, and Martha Beck. Just 15 miles from downtown Kansas City, Unity Village offers a luxurious new green hotel, wooded walking trails, healthful cuisine, and many beautiful spots to rest and unwind. More information is available at www.spiritpathonline.org.
I know Tom was one of those people for me. He was a trusted advisor that I knew would always tell me like it is.
3, 2, 1, fountains!
Tom lived Unity principles. It all showed up. Whether Tom was in a role that we all see as minister upon a platform, or whether Tom was out there with his construction hat on and working with all the different contractors. It's who Tom was. It's how he believed. It's how he lived.
'Twas the afternoon before Christmas, and all the village lay in stillness. No one was aware that St. Nicholas soon would be there. For you see, in prepping for the Yule, Santa had completely forgotten to get any reindeer fuel.
Merry Christmas!
So off to purchasing Santa did fly. Only to find that he needed the Bruce to sign on the dotted line.
Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho!
And so our tale has a happy end. A very Merry Christmas to you all, my friends.